Alright guys, so now what we're going to get into is the crab ride portion of this series. We're going to go over again more leg drag stuff later on, inverted leg drag, but right now we're going to stay with the same side where I'm not inverting and changing sides, and this is going to be the crab ride series. Now, this is why I wanted to keep going over and over about the pressure of the knees to the chest, the knees to the side. All these hooks are going to accomplish the same goal. Knees to chest, knees away from chest, side to side of the hips, right? Now, instead of us using the leg drag hook, we're going to use a crab ride hook. Now, what is a crab ride hook? A crab ride hook is when my foot is on her leg, like so. Let's just move this way. Yes. My foot is on her leg like so. Okay. The pro of this hook is I could bring her knee to her chest really easy with this hook. I could switch sides really easy with this hook. But the leg drag hook accomplishes the same thing, putting her knees to her chest, bringing her body this way. The crab ride hook, we're going to be able to do the same motions. But as you can see, they're both different in small things. This is a leg drag, this is a crab ride hook. This is a leg drag hook, you see. And you're going to learn now how to use the crab ride hook to accomplish the same goals we just learned with the leg drag hook. Bringing the knee to the chest, removing the knee from the chest, you see. And as you can see, this foot has the same type of mechanics as the leg drag hook that we used before. Bringing the knee chest away from chest, side to side, side to side. Okay. And just because of that understanding from before, this is going to make so much more sense now that I'm explaining the crab ride hook now. Okay, so we're going to get into that now. So now we're going to get into the first sequence of this series, and you're going to see how the mechanisms of the crab ride hook help me accomplish the same goal as before. Okay, so I'm going to be here. I'm going to set up the same way. Foot on the chest, get the grip, clear the leg, get the hip grip. I'm going to bring her down. I'm going to get to this spot. Before we went to the leg drag. Now, instead of this leg drag hook, I'm going to keep my foot on her knee like so. And what I'm going to do is, I'm going to attack this forward leg. And how am I going to do this? I'm going to put my crab ride hook right on this forward knee. Now, when I put my crab ride on this forward knee, what I'm going to do is, I'm going to go on my shoulder, like so. And when I go on my shoulder, what I'm going to do is, I'm going to grab the collar. When I grab the collar, look what I'm going to do now. I'm going to push her knee to her chest and make her push her away. Now I'm going to manipulate and bring her knee off her body. Here. But look, what just happened? I just made the space. I removed her knee from her chest. Just like a leg drag. When I was in the leg drag, we removed the knee from her chest, right? Now in this, look what I'm doing. I removed her knee from her chest. Now I can get my knee on top of her hip. Grab the collar. Again, what are we doing? Like the leg drag. Once we create this space, we use the collar to reinforce the hole we made. I'm using the collar to reinforce the hole I made, elbow on the hip, and now I can come up into this pass here. I can control the hip, I can underhook if her arm's here. Again, over the shoulder, making her arm a part of the passing box that we created, or opening it, taking her arm out of the passing box we created. And now I can pass it on. Okay? But as you can see, it's exactly the same mechanics of a leg drag. We're just removing the knee from her chest, creating the strike zone, the passing box. So we're here. I go to the leg drag here. So instead of putting my foot down here, I'm going to keep my back leg on her knee to push her knee to the floor. Why are we pushing her knee to the floor? Because when we alter her spine to one side, her knee is weaker. When she's square, bring your knee square, now keep your knees on your chest, she's stronger. But when I go here, now keep your knee to your chest, it's a lot weaker. Because I altered her spine. Once you manipulate her spine, her connection of her knee to her chest is compromised, which is our objective in this spot, right? So we're here. I bring her knee to the floor. I start putting my foot on her leg. I already compromised her spine manipulating it. Now look, all I have to do is pull her knee off her chest a little bit. Connect my elbow into the hole I just created. I'm making my hole right now. She's keeping her knee to her chest. I create the spot now. So I'm here. I go on my shoulder. I create the spot. I use my knee on her hip also. So I have two things on her leg to help move her leg down. Now I created the spot. I got the collar. Now I can come up. Look at this huge passing box we created. Elbow in, no problem. We go above the elbow. If I'm able to get under the elbow, then her arm is not involved at all. And now I can pass it right here. So this time. Now I want you guys to pay attention to this leg when I'm here. Here. So this would be leg drag pull up. This leg is I'm using it to just push her foot to the floor. It's a crab ride hook, right? But I'm using it to just place her body on the floor. Now, all I'm going to do is, once her body's on the floor, just like the leg drag before when I placed her knee on the floor, now all I'm going to do is place my knee on top of her leg, bringing my knee on top of her hip, like so. Now I can remove her knee from her chest, creating this spot, this space. Now my elbow comes in. Now I can pass the guy. Okay. Guys, please practice this move a lot because this is what's going to teach you how to take the back. Because you're going to get very good at taking her knees off the chest. And she's going to have to force her knees to your chest, which we're going to get the back a lot later on. But it's so important that you understand how to take the knees off the chest. Here, I go here. Look how I use my knee on her hip. Look, my knee is like this on her hip and my foot. So look how I'm able to use my knee also to create this hole. So I have two things on her leg doing this to make the hole, the passing box, the strike zone that I could fit my body into now that I created. When her knee's here, it's closed, the passing zone, right? It's closed. When we remove this, now it's open. So then I can take her elbow, keeping her arm in, or I can take her arm out. Now I have this huge space. So here, I go on my shoulder. I use my knee. I clear it. I get here. I get inside the pass spot. You could use your elbow to frame it. Here. Here, you have to close your elbow. Okay, guys. So again, like I said, just like a leg drag, we created this space for me to fit in, the strike zone, the passing box, right? So now what's going to happen is I'm going to be creating this box again, but I'm not going to be able to keep my opponent's body the other direction. So I'm going to have to alter my approach just a little bit, but I'm going to use my body the same exact way to keep this space open for my body to fit into, okay? So I'm going to be here. I'm going to go for the leg drag. The crab ride leg drag. I'm going to go here. I'm going to go for the crab ride here. I'm going to start closing her space here. But what's going to happen is I'm not going to be able to keep the connection of my back leg, keeping her leg down. She's going to step on the floor and turn her hip into me here. You see? So now her hips aren't facing the other way. So because her hips are not facing the other way, I don't have the same angle on her hip to open her body like I did before because her knee is like this. So when I go on my shoulder now, what I'm going to have to do is I'm going to try to remove it a little bit, but just using my hook and knee here, just to create a tiny space so I could fit my arm inside this space here. Look how I could get my elbow inside this space. Now, once I have my elbow inside this space, I'm going to remove my hooks and place my knee in this space even more. So now try to fit your legs into me. You see, there's nothing because I was able to fit my body in the space even though she turned into me. I created a small enough gap that I was able to get my elbow in, and then I reinforced it with my knee. So now I can pass the guard the same exact way. Okay, this way. So we're here. I get the grip. I go on my side. I get here. I start going for this. She turns into me. Turn it more. Yeah, here. I use my knee. You see how I'm able to remove her knee from her chest just a little bit. I can get my elbow in now. I put my elbow under my leg like so. Now that my elbow's under my leg, I'm able to push her hip down, put my elbow even more on the side of her hip. Now I can bring my knees in. Here. But look what I created. I don't have her knee completely off her chest, right? But I have it enough where my body was able to fit in to pass her guard.
If your elbow on my hip bone.
It's on the hip, yeah. It's enough space. I just fit in to pass the guard. And this will be common when I'm doing the leg guard. The person will try to turn in because, like I said, every time you bring their hips this way, they're going to fight you to go this way. So we're here. I'll go for the cover. Here she turns into me. So I use my knee just to create this tiny space. I bring my elbow under my knee, my elbow inside my hips to get my elbow under. I'm using the near side hip grip to punch, bringing my elbow in. Now look at my knee. You see, now I can pass the guard every time. Even if she's framing her arm here. She's, again, anytime the arm enters the passing box, we're going to accept it if we close the elbow. If we can't close the elbow, we can open the elbow. Okay? Now our arm's not in the passing box. But we either accept it in by closing the elbow or we take it out, opening the elbow. And it's going to depend on how much she forces her elbow into this scenario. Okay? Again. Here. Going to lift the leg. Going to go into the crab right here. I'm going to try to keep near her knee from her chest. She's going to turn into me. I'm going to use my knee on her leg. Creating a space to get my elbow under her hip. Now I'm going to come up to this spot here. And she's pushing me. Her elbow's open. Her elbow's closed. Now her elbow's closed. So I can use my body on her shoulder to pass. If her elbow's open, pushing like this, I'm going to open her elbow to pass the guard. Out again. From here, she turns into me. I use my elbow on her hip. I push down. I punch. I use my elbow on her hip. Now I come up to this spot here. Okay guys, so now again, we're going to go exactly with the same concepts as the leg drag. The first two positions, I removed her knee from her chest. What does that mean? That means that she's going to try to keep her knee on her chest, right? And what does that follow in the rules that we talked about? When she keeps her knee on her chest, we can take the back. So I was able to take her knees off her chest. Now she's going to fight me to keep her knees on her chest. So now we're going to take the back like perfectly now from this spot. And you're going to see how important it is to practice actually those other positions to bait the person to force her knees to their chest. Because every time they do that, we can take the back. So I think it's very important if you want to take the back from parabolic, crab ride, leg jacks, to learn how to finish opening the knee from the chest, because once you get really good at that, they're going to give you the back. Okay? So let's start. I'm going to be here. I'm going to grab both legs. I'm going to lift the leg up, leg on the chest, make the grip. I'm going to get here. I'm going to end up in the leg jack spot here, the crab ride leg jack spot, right? So now I'm going to attempt to remove her knee from her chest, but she's going to fight me really hard, keeping her knee on her chest. So I can't remove it, right? I'm going to go on my shoulder. I can't even make the space to get in. So what I'm going to do is, even though I can't make the space to get in, I'm going to bring my arm on top of my knee like so. I'm going to bring my body up a little bit more. Now, because her knee's on her chest, I'm going to sweep her by doing what? I'm going to bring her knee to her chest. I'm going to take my foot off the back of her leg. I'm going to step on the floor, bringing her hips up like so. Look how I switched my back arm to the back of her hip to stack her more. Now look how I can bring my hook in, and I can take the back. It's because I was able to keep her knee on her chest. But she is doing that to defend the other position. So she's defending one thing, and then I'm able to do the other. And it's really easy because of that. Okay? So all I'm going to do is I'm here, both grips, make the grip here. I go to the leg jerk here. I go to the crab ride. I start going here to remove. I can't remove her knee from her chest. She can even be framing here. No problem. I grab the collar. I'm going to now, instead of removing it, now she's pushing it. So I'm going to push her knee to her chest more. I'm going to take out my bottom hook and post it on the floor. I'm going to lift her body up with my back knee and my head. I'm going to grab the back of her body, and now I'm going to throw my hook in to take her back. Again. Here. I go here. I'm trying to remove. I can't. She's keeping her knee to her chest. So I'm going to go with it now. I'm going to use the mechanism of my hook to push her knee to her chest more. And when I push her knee to her chest more, I'm going to bring her body up. Now I go to the back of her body, and look, I can even bring her completely up. You see how much I can bring her up? Now I can throw my hook in, and I can take the back. So now you're going to learn how to use your hook to push the knees to the chest instead of bringing them away. Here. I go here. I try to remove, I can't. I push it then. Once I push, I grab. Once I grab, I step on the floor. Look how I step on the floor. I'm on my head, I'm pulling the hip grip up, and I'm pulling the collar all at the same time. So now I can bring my hook in to take the back. Here I try to remove, she defends. So then I go with her. Once I go with her, look how my shoulder connects to her shoulder. I bring her hip up, and now I can throw my hook in.
So smooth.
So I do this, she brings it back. The second she brings it back, I help her. Okay, so I just went over the beginning of crab ride with the crab ride hook. And what I want to explain now is how you could apply this forward crab ride hook with the leg drag series that we just learned. So we're going to go over the application of the forward crab ride series with the leg drag. And why is this a good mechanism to getting to the leg drag? Because the crab ride hook, as we see, might be superior in regards to bringing the person's knees to their chest than the leg drag. So we could use this forward leg drag, this forward crab ride hook to bring the person's knees to their chest. And what is our rule? Every time we bring their knees to their chest, what are they going to do? They're going to remove the knee from their chest. And when they remove the knee from the chest, what does that mean? Now we can pass the guard. And what is a very good option to pass the guard when they remove their knees from the chest? The leg drag, right? So now we're going to see. I'm going to be here. I'm going to get the grips. I'm going to get here. I'm going to bring her down. I'm going to get here. Now I'm going to use the forward crab ride hook to bring her knee to her chest. She's going to back away from me, pushing. And look how her knee is coming off the chest. So what am I going to do? I'm going to go on my shoulder and back away from me. And now I'm going to place my leg into the leg drag, connecting my ASIS to her leg like before, using my foot, making this bar of her legs on this line of my body. Now I have the hole again, right? I made the hole. I put my elbow inside the hole. Now I'm paying attention to this arm. Am I able to get under? Is her elbow in? Do I have to include her elbow in the passing box? If I don't have to, awesome. I'll go under. Now I can get up. And I can pass the guard here. But as you can see, all these positions work together, right? I just used the forward crab ride hook to accomplish what we were trying to before, removing the knee from the chest. You see? And that's where you're going to learn all these positions you could use together. And that's when you have full mastery of this, when you understand how to use all the different hooks together. Okay, so we're going to be here again. I'm going to be in the crab ride spot. I'm going to bring her knee to her chest. I'm going to remove her knee from her chest. She's going to bring it to her chest here. Now I'm going to start coming up the path. She's going to push away. Now look. Now I can go here. As you can see, her arm's inside the passing box now. So I use my head on her elbow. I fill the hole. I come up. And I include her arm inside the box. Other side. We're here. I go here. I start pushing her into her chest. She pushes away and backs up. As she's backing up, look how the hole is created here. Look at the space right here. So now I can easily back away, replace it, and put the leg drag in. Connecting the ASIS to her leg, putting my head under her body if I can, closing my elbow, coming up. Pass the guard. So here, I go to the first crab ride and push. So then she'll push me. When she pushes, I connect. I bait her to connect, because I know she's going to push me when I do this. That's why I'm doing this. In my mind, I know that once I do this, she's going to push away. So this time I decided, okay, I'm going to use this hook to help me get her to push away. So I bring her near her chest. Now she pushes away and backs up. Now I connect. Elbows in, head on the side of her elbow. Now I come up. Now she pushes away. Okay guys, so now what I'm going to show you is, I just showed you how we applied the leg drag in this. Now I'm going to show you one more sequence, again applying the knees to the chest, knees away from chest concept. I'm going to go for the forward crab ride. She's going to bring her knee off her chest, so I'm going to go to the leg drag. But this time when I start bringing her hips that way to finish the leg drag, altering her spine like we said, manipulating her knee away from her chest, she's going to go against me, bring her knees the other way. I'm not going to be able to keep her body that way. So then I'm going to switch to the far hip. I'm going to climb up and go to the twist circuit. We're going to take the back. Just so you guys could keep seeing how we're going to keep combining all these different positions together. Next series, we're going to go over, in the next part of this section, the series, we're going to go over the crab ride where we invert changing sides. And that's going to be very cool to see the difference once you change sides, how the crab ride hook helps you, and how the front leg becomes the back leg. And that's what's going to be able to get you to take the back. But right now, I just want to show you one more sequence in the forward crab ride series, how we apply it with the leg drag. Because I just want you to be able to apply everything together. I think it's so important. So, we're going to be here. I'm going to get the grip, get to the chest, get the grip here. I'm going to go for the leg drag here. I'm going to be in the crab ride, forward crab. She pushes away, she backs up. So now, I'm going to start going for the leg drag here. But what's going to happen is she's going to bring her knees to her chest and move her body this way. So I'm not able to stretch her to go to the leg drag here, right? So what does this mean? I'm back in the spot before. So I open the leg, I put my knee up, I walk. Now I get the far hip again. You see how I switch to the far hip? Now, when I'm here, I have the option to do many back takes, right? But what we're trying to do is I'm going to remove her knee from her chest just a little bit to fit my leg in. So I can bring my foot in. To get my knee on top, get my foot here, connect my fist to my chest, bringing her down. My elbow on her body. Now I can lock the twist for her. And I can take the back. Again. I'm going to be here. I'm going to get the leg drag grip. Come inside. Here. I'm going to go to the front crab. She pushes. I go to the leg drag. She brings her knee to her chest and goes here. So I'm going to bring my hip under. I'm going to switch my hand to the leg. Just like in the first series. Here. I bring the knee up so I can fit my leg in. Connecting my elbow to her back. Fist to my chest. Knee up. Foot down. Now I bring her on top of me. I go to the twister hook. Now that you're learning how to put everything together, you see how cool it is, these exchanges. Before, if I would have done this in the beginning, if I did this in the beginning, you would have been like, wow, what's happening? But now you're seeing each sequence that we just learned all together. So you actually know every step of the way what's happening, you see? And I think that's where you're going to start realizing how simple this is. But it looks so complicated because of all the parts. But they're all simple parts. You just have to learn each one individually, and then they all combine together so nice. So here, I get the grip. I go here. I go forward crab. She pushes. I go leg drag. She brings her knee to her chest. I switch sides. I bring my knee up. I walk. I connect my elbow to her back. Once my elbow is on her back, I use my knee. I use my foot. I bring her up. Now I go twist her to the back. She pushes her knee away. Go here. I start going leg drag. She brings her knees up. So now I can go to the other side. She keeps her knee to her chest, I can take her back. So she has to push my knee away and back up. Now I go leg drag. Now she brings her knees to her chest. Now I go to the other side.